How clear is that?
All right. So you're welcome, Honorable. We're meeting for the first time. And I think one thing I will note about you is that your accessibility is outstanding, right? So I must commend you on that. So as we proceed this program, I want you to, first of all, introduce yourself and then which you have done, and tell us your manifesto. Let's go straight into it. People are in the office now, and I don't want to stay too long on this meeting.
Okay. So I should go ahead.
Go ahead to tell us about why you're running for office, your manifesto. Okay. What are your plans?
Like I said before, my name is Joshua Chinedu, and I'm running under the platform of Labour for House of Representative AMAC Bwari Federal Constituency. Before now, from 1999 to 2004, I've served as a councillor with Abuja Municipal Area Council. I've been in Abuja since 1996, and I have participated in our local politics in Abuja. So I can say that I am very conversant with the problems and issues that we have around here. I can tell you of all the wards and the places in my constituency. Even though for some of our brothers here, they will still see us like strangers, but I can tell you that I know so much about what our people, both the indigenous people in the Federal Capital Territory and we, the residents, also need. And in doing so, that was what brought me into the politics. When I came here in 1996, I was staying in a very small estate called Kado Estate. Kado is located under Gwarempa Ward of Abuja Municipal Area Council. Even though that I was a squatter then, but because of my commitment to the community development, anything that has to do with the community, I was made the chairman of the Estate Welfare Association, because I always go out to see that the light in the estate works, that the water that comes to the estate runs. So people see me as a committed person to the community. And when Abacha died in 1998, the community came together and said that I should run for the position of a councillor. That was how I started my political career here in Abuja. So let me go straight to the point about FCT. In FCT, we have a lot of problems in FCT. Let me start with health. Most of the hospitals that are built today in Abuja were built by the military. By the military administration.
You need to increase your voice a bit, just slightly. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
fine. Most of the hospitals that are built today in Abuja are built by the military, not by the civilian administration. You can go, you can check out Wuse Hospital, Maitama Hospital, Kubwa General Hospital, Bwari Hospitals. All these things were built by the military. But even the civilian administration could not maintain or leave these hospitals built by the military in a better position, not even building the new ones. If you go there today, if you go to Kubwa General Hospital, it's like a poultry house. It's like a shanty. It's not befitting of a hospital that is in the Federal Capital Territory that's supposed to be the best setter state. Abuja president is the governor of Abuja and should lead by example to make sure that the health institutions in Abuja gets all it needs to function well. Secondly, let us talk about security. Is it not disheartening that most of our police stations in Abuja cannot even boast of a sound vehicle. I know that the minister just shared vehicle some days back because of the threat of insecurity. Is that how we should be planning our security? Because there is issues of insecurity, then suddenly you start distributing vehicles. You should have done that before now because you know that is required. You should have put anything that is required for the security of Abuja should not be toyed with. Some months back, I watched where FCT crushed about almost 2,000 motorcycles. These motorcycles was impounded because they were riding it around the city. Yes, I don't encourage motorcycles to ride in the city, but in the searchlight towns, because government have not provided any solution for that. But why I'm talking about this motorcycle is this. Let me bring it back to the security. I want to finish up with that. If government can crush motorcycles that's worth more than 500,000, 1,000 pieces is about 5 billion naira. The same motorcycles can be given to our police officers in different police stations to be using for their community policing. There is no need for that wastage. People have defaulted, yes. You have gotten them, you put them to use. We have even teachers who can be encouraged that are in the rural areas that these motorcycles can be given to help them access the schools. So there is nothing on earth will make a reasonable government to destroy over 2,000 motorcycles that worth billions of naira. So let me put issue of security by the side. Let us talk about our satellite towns within the Abuja and the AMAC and Bwari. Kubwa roads totally off, dilapidated. Nyanya roads, all these satellite towns, everybody must not live in the city. The government should take it up by making sure that our satellite towns are functional so that people can move down there and get the houses they can afford. Families are meant to squeeze themselves in the town for 2-bedroom because the same money they will use to get that 2-bedroom, they can use to get even a duplex in our satellite towns. But because in satellite towns they're not having these amenities, there's nothing they can do about it. Everybody will be forced in here. We can decongest this city by making sure that our satellite towns, the drainages, the roads, and we should have a good maintenance culture. Generally, let us come on the environment. Can you believe that inside the city here in Asokoro and Maitama, our sewer systems are blocked, leaking everywhere, and even the rich people around drive across it without even noticing how dangerous it is to have something like that around them. So it's like the government don't care about the environment and the people that lives within the environment. So we want a functional FCT where we have people who care about FCT. Finally, in education, we are screaming today about university education, how our kids stayed home for more than 8 months. But we should be screaming in what is happening in our primary education, which is the foundation of everything. If you don't get it right at that stage, there is nothing that you can do again. All other effort will be a wasteful venture. Today in our primary school in FCT, some of our primary schools, the children are still standing on a bare floor. We have leaking roof, classes without window, schools without fence. There is no sanitary anything, no toilets, nothing for the kids. The teachers have to go and eat themselves in the bush. In the 21st century FCT, not up to 5 or 4 kilometers away from the seat of power, it is very disgraceful. FCT is a town, a city. AMAC Bwari, my constituency, is a place that I cherish so much. And I want to see so much done for these people. So let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I can see the passion coming out And the way you took it from when you came to Abuja and up to where you are now, it shows consistency in passion, in very, very strong passion for people. So thank you very much. Now that you've listed all the problems, please, I don't know that the parliamentary side or the House of Legislature is tasked with executing. I want to know, what can you do if given the chance as a House of Rep member? What can you do in terms of seeing direct changes in all these things you've mentioned, starting from security to infrastructure to education? What will you do for AMAC Bwari FCT Council?
Okay, thank you very much, my brother, for that question. You see, my work as a legislator is to make the budget, pass the budget, and make laws and the oversight functions. But what gives me the strength mostly in this is that oversight functions. One, being the person that will make the budget, part of the people, the budget making process. That means all the informations of what is needed for FCT, I will be aware of them. With that knowledge, the next phase is for me to make sure that everything that is budgeted for is implemented by doing my oversight functions. Look at, assuming UBE, Universal Basic Education, have more than 150 classrooms, new classrooms or buildings to renovate. I am aware of that. And it's beckon on me to make sure that those things are done. But the problem here is that the people in the past might sit back there, probably go to collect some jobs from the head of the UBE secretary, and will not care going back to know what is happening in our primary school environment or to see if what they have budgeted for is being carried out. So I will be diligent in the budget to make sure that all these things that I have mentioned is captured in the budget. That is where it starts from. I will make sure that our satellite towns are not neglected. I will make sure that things that the health department needs to function is given and that is judiciously used. I will make sure that everything as it relates to what is required, be it in the environment, in the security, we will try, this is 21st century, we try to, modernize some of the things that are going on here in Abuja. Imagine if Abuja can have up to 5, 6 drones that can be given to the security in Abuja. If there's anywhere something is happening, even before the police get there, drones is all over the place, seeing what is going on. Because the people you are sending into the harm's way are human beings too. That will even encourage the police, knowing that they are aware of the situation where they are going to before they even get there. So we can do a lot. And this will be done through budgeting, which are part of it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And now talking about budgeting. In the past, how many years in your service under AMAC, have you ever looked into the budget for the local government? Have you been part of it? Okay, we lost you, sir. We can't hear you. You have to check your...
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, it's better.
Yes, okay. I said yes, as a councillor is still the position of a legislator in the local government or in the local council. So part of our work then was to make laws or bylaws for the council and also pass budgets and also supervise them. So during my time as a councillor, yeah, that happened. I can tell you some areas in my constituency during my time that got electrification projects in their communities. Like if you go to Karamajiki community, it's under Gwarimpa, because I was the councillor representing Gwarimpa ward. If you go to Kiwai community, you will see a health center was brought then. If you go to Gwarimpa Estate, Gwarimpa village inside the Gwarimpa Estate, you will see the renovation of the health center there. Then there are some communities that the roads, was graded then, although that was by my personal effort, not by the municipal area council. And the major problem we faced that time is that we had what is called zero allocation. There was like a shortfall in government funding of the area council. So we were having, our allocation was not coming really good. But the internal generated revenue that the then chairman was having, she was able to use it judiciously. That is Honorable John Estaudi, the chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council there. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. I can see that you've been integrated into the system, so you're not a novice here, and I'm very, very sure having you on our represent us will be a benefit. I would like to ask you, what do you think is the problem with the issue of local government executing? I'm aware that the allocation is different from what they generate, internally generated funds from local government. And so I want to find out from you, have you identified issues that are pertinent into the execution of projects within the local government, AMAC and Bwari?
I would like you to come again with the question, because I really didn't get it right.
Okay, I said, as someone who has been part of the system, all right? Now we are residents. We feel that government, the local government, is not living up to its expectation. All right. So what do you identify as the issues that can be resolved quickly when you are if you're given the chance in terms of execution of projects under local government?
Okay, let me say this. Local government in Abuja shouldn't be complaining of funds, because Abuja Municipal Area Council is as rich as some states in Nigeria, with its internal generated revenue, if well harnessed, and a proper channel of collection is in place. Because there can be collection, it can be harnessed, but in somebody's pocket. You understand me? But if we do it in a good way, Abuja Municipal Area Council have no business even with the federal allocation. A chairman that knows what he's doing in Abuja Municipal Area Council can be committing all the federal allocation into trust fund, the special fund of the council, because the internal generated revenue will be enough for him to run the council. But I don't think we have, we don't have, for you to do that, it takes people who have experience in that kind of urban local government, like Abuja. You cannot compare it with smaller local governments that we have here and there. You cannot compare Abuja Municipal with Abaji, with Kuje. For you to run here, you have to bring in 21st century kind of expertise into the governance to develop all these hidden revenues that can boost the economy of Abuja and also generate money for the government. But we have, sometimes what happens is that most of the times we have people who are not really knowledgeable in what they should do in government. But I can praise the immediate past chairman, because he came in with some good innovations, although it can be improved upon. So I'm expecting that our brother that just come new will take it up from where it is right now. But I can tell you that really the expectations of the people in the terms of what the local government should be doing is still below expectations. And that is because they are not really getting the funds they should be getting because they are not doing it the right way. So these are some of the issues that if time comes, if it is legislation from the National Assembly that will help them to organize whatever they need to function very well, I should be seen doing that.
Okay, that's your promise. Is that your promise?
Yes, yes. I should be seen doing that. You see, I am not the local government chairman. He is the executive chairman of the local government. I know. Still his policies and what he wants to do. But what we can do now is that we can that the people's money is not because we are like the state assembly.
Yes.
Of all the local governments here.
Yes.
So we will still have to monitor to make sure that the money of these two local governments that's under my constituency, whatever that is budgeted for, all their budgets still pass through us. Whatever their budget, what they're going to implement, not something otherwise. That is the only role that we can play. But it's left for them to.
Yes. What do you think the role? Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. I'm trying to pack. There's so many things I would like to talk about here. What do you think is the role for the citizens? Let me pose the question like this. You see, Abuja has a fairly middle class, a lot of middle class population within the AMAC and Bwari, and you see that some of them don't even know that there's an election going on for House of Rep, for even senators. I'm sure on the road and along as you go to campaign, you have some feelers of the kind of apathy that middle class have towards going out to vote. Now, let me start from this way. What do you feel is the role of these middle class and the citizens within AMAC Bwari to ensure that the local government does what it should do? Is there any role for the citizens? Are there any role for the citizens to help local government? And then secondly, what do you feel the role is for the citizens that elect you in terms of your own partnership? What do you feel? What do you expect from us?
Now, these questions you have two questions there. One for the local government and one for me as an individual. Now,
yes.
When it gets to the local government, look at this. It's funny because in Abuja here, most of the top civil servants that have retired are still living here. They're not living in their village. This is their home. Maybe all their life, this is where they will live until they die, or maybe get old enough that they cannot be able to stay here. Most of them are not participating. But I think it is coming to a time where everybody is now realizing that if we don't participate, things will get worse, and it's already bad. If you don't participate because you can sit at your home and collect 500,000 from your pension or whatever, you will participate because in that your house, you're no longer secured. So issues that will make people to participate is now arising. So I will see that kind of participation coming going forward. But you see, like I said, Abuja Municipal Area Council is a council that should be chaired by somebody who is grounded, who have a vision of what he wants to do. Because if you come into the city, it's like the council is not existing. Because the Ministry of the Federal Capital Territory has done almost everything in the city. Then out of the city, so the people in the city is like, we'll pay taxes to this government and we're not feeling anything. And there is some certain things the people in the city can still get even though that their areas have been developed. Some of these neighborhoods, you have neighborhood playgrounds. You know, built by the local government. They will see some certain things that they are benefiting from the taxes they are paying, living in the city, from the area council. I can tell you that. So it starts, citizens, it starts from their participation. Because when the middle class participate, they will be involved in electing whoever that will be. And they will make sure that that person is measured, that he has the capacity to manage a city like Abuja. Abuja should be compared with New York and other, you know, and the investment that has come in this city. If you check the amount that FCT has gotten since 1999 to date, Cotonou as a country can be developed with it. I tell you, go and find out. I didn't say since inception, since 1999 to date. If Cotonou can have that money, maybe all the areas in Cotonou will be tied by now.
Wow, wow.
I bet you. Yes.
Yeah. And the second part of the question is, for what do you expect in terms of the House of Rep and the citizens? What do you expect from us?
Okay. Now, do you know the major problem I see that people in the office have, or usually have? The people that elect them, the masses, the real supporters that elect them, will elect them and go home to sleep. While the psychopaths follow them up, tell them every time that they have done well, even when they have not done anything. That is usually the problem. This time around, if we expect anything different from what we've been seeing before, it starts from making it known to whoever that is representing you. Is it in the house? You hold us accountable to keep the fire burning. And I said it any time that a budget is passed, I will make sure that I will publish that of FCT as it covers my own federal constituency. All the major projects, capital projects that will be done for the year, I will publish them myself, because this is what the money that is given to the National Assembly members is meant to do. It's not to put in their pockets. It's for you to have constituency office where your people will come and sit down with you and talk. They know the days and weeks that you come to the constituency office to deliberate with them. As a House member, I will make sure that I have town hall meetings with the residents of my constituency. I can assure you that I will not be far from the people, because I started my own political life at the grassroots level. Councillors are the closest elected representative of the people. They are the ones that are easily assessed. So using that kind of mindset, I will bring it. I know that it's not going to be easy. I might not be as accessible as them because of the kind of work I will be getting involved, but I can assure you, be rest assured that
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I want to ask anyone if they have any questions, they can send it in now. I would like to ask you, what's your thought about transparency and trust deficits? One of the reasons why middle class do not believe in elections are because they feel that, number one, these politicians, they actually do not really care about the people. And so you see a lot of middle class leaving the country. They feel, some of them feel a sense of hopelessness. There's no hope. So coming into 2023, we see a semblance of a real and true democratic change. Or coming down to the House of Rep and the Senate, what are your ideas? What are your initiatives to restore trust, to ensure transparency? We want to know, do you have any plan towards that in your office from 2023 if you're voted in? Thank you. I hope you got my question. You're muted.
Hello, you can hear me now.
Yeah, you're muted. Did you get my question, sir?
Okay. Yeah, can you come up again?
Should I repeat the question?
Yeah, you can, please.
All right. I said that one of the reasons why middle class do not believe in elections and do not want to even bother themselves to find out who is representing them or who is not doing their job is because they feel a sense of hopelessness. In terms of trust, the trust deficit is a lot. So a lot of this middle class, a lot of people are leaving the country in droves. They feel a sense of hopelessness. Sir, if you're given the chance to enter into office, do you have any plan to restore transparency? Do you have any plan? How do you intend to build trust? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. You see, it has to start from the level of where you operate as an elected representative. That transparency has to start from that level. Because as the level, if I'm elected as a member of House of Representatives, everything that is in the budget that is passed under my constituency, I must, as a matter of fact, make sure that it's done. I will follow it up, and not just that it's done, that is executed as is stated in the approval plan. You cannot do nothing but that. That is where it starts from. And what is giving us hope today is the man that is coming on board. That is His Excellency, Peter Obi. And again, what will also make people to believe in the new Nigeria that is on process right now is the process of even electing people who will be in charge of the affairs of Nigeria. The process this time, I think people have more confidence in it. So that alone can attract the middle class to know that this is the time for them to come together and support this process to get things done for Nigeria. So it starts from there. If we can elect people who we know that can do the job, and we that are electing them are sure that our vote counts, everything starts from there. That is where the new change comes from. Because even he who is coming in will know that the only way that he can still occupy that seat is to do the will of the people. So the issue of integrity will come. Issue of development will come when the people have a say. So that is how I see it. And I will do everything within my powers, if elected, to make sure that all the agencies of government, that their work is to work on issues of corruption or anything that will curb, any laws that will curb corruption in Nigeria, I will be part and parcel of it. I can assure you that. But I know that P2B has his plans, and we as his foot soldiers will be on the ground to make sure that we get things done for him, to make his government smooth.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know that you were once in the one other party before you joined Labour. So I would like to find out from you, when it comes to party, to what extent do you feel your party is responsible for your success? If the party is not supporting, will you also move a ship to another party? I just want to find out. Thank you.
You said if my party is not supporting me,
I said,
I will move to another. Yes.
I said, if you find out going forward, you
Yes.
are not getting that kind of support you need, or you feel the party is against some of the values you have. Because here in this interview, you told me that you value trust, you value transparency, integrity, some of these things. You know, I feel that we as a country, we have failed in terms of party structure. We have really failed. And that's one of those things I feel personally is really responsible for performance as well of politicians. They don't check their candidates. You just elect them and then that's it. So I would like to find out from you, what do you feel? What are your thoughts?
Now let me show you something here. Did you see the pinup I have here? It's Nigeria. Yes. This is who I stand for first. Nigeria. If my party goes against Nigeria, I will go against my party. I'm saying it here. Nigeria first. It doesn't matter which party, but Nigeria, the party that can save Nigeria. Why people are talking about Labour Party today is because they believe that Labour Party will stand up for this country. Stand up for the working class people of this country. Because if we don't bring life back by making sure there's security in this country, and making sure that the people, that outside world have trust in Nigeria and confidence to come and invest in this country, then we're not going to go to anywhere. And if we don't do the right investments, how can somebody tell me, do you know how much the federal government used in building Abuja Rail from Abuja to Kaduna? Kaduna have 2 dualized roads that can be maintained, good, very nice roads. Kaduna have flights, have airports. Kaduna industries are not even working as of now, they're not functional. They do not even invest money in it to revive it. But they use the money to do the railroad. Now, that same money they use in building that railroad, if they have invested it in Abuja, light tram, a light tram that will come from Maraba to the city, the one that will come from Zuba, join Gogolada to the city, I tell you, more than 300,000 people will be using that tram every morning. At 100, it's more than 30 million in the morning. Going back is around 30 million, it's 60 million. Go and find out if that train from Kaduna to Abuja makes 60 million in a week. But we're talking about a day here. And this money is not that it's our money. We borrowed it. If you want to do your own business, will you go and borrow money and put in something that will not yield the money fast? Is that how you will do? If we want to run this country, we'll run it well. We'll run it so that we as a sensible people, we cannot just get up and throw money anywhere. Now in this city, the city is congested because everybody comes into the city with their vehicles. There is no good transportation system in Abuja, no articulated transportation master plan for a city like Abuja. The infrastructure for that is not even in place. Do we have bus stops? We don't. So what we're talking about is this. Now everybody has felt the pinch. If not because General Muhammad Bwari today is our president, many people will not come out to even talk about P2B. It is because how the country has gone under. Now everybody is feeling the pinch. both the middle class. I think this will be the election in the history of this country that Nigerians are really going to participate. Believe me. And we are looking up to that. And for them to have a level of participation, we cannot afford to make any mistakes because Nigerians are not going to tolerate their elected representative like the way they used to tolerate them before. That is just the truth. There will be a lot of questions this time around. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. In terms of public, one of the public acts is that you have to declare your assets. You need to be that transparent. There's a reason why that is there for public officials. What are your thoughts? And I can't hear you. You've lost him there.
That is what the law says. So you have to adhere to it. But look at this. It can, what the problem here is, some politicians or some people don't really like to put their assets there in the public domain. They can declare it. If somebody wants to find out about them, you go to the what do you call it?
Bwari.
I forgot the name. Yes. And go and get all the information you want. But publishing it on newspaper is not really a good idea because you can be a target of so many people because of the kind of policies that you might be part of making in the government. You know what I'm talking about? It's possible.
Yes, sir.
So maybe
yes, sir. But
you have a business over there. Somebody will say, yes, we know where his business is. We will go and burn it up or something like that. That is the reason why many people don't like doing that in public. But it's a law. You must adhere to it. It's a must for all of us.
Let's talk about the House of Assembly, right? Our House of Assembly in the recent times have really disappointed a lot of people, actually. What will you do differently? I'm saying this because a one man and a crowd that has come together to conspire is very difficult to make a change. At what point will you stand up, right, for things that are being ignored? For instance, I will take an example, right? There are so many instances where the president should have been impeached. The Constitution says the president should guarantee the safety and the welfare of all Nigerians. And so because you have a situation where members of the House are too scared, to speak up to truth. So we are here, we're hoping that at what point will you stand up, House of Parliament, at what point will you do the right thing? We are not supposed to be in this situation if we have a vibrant democracy. So I want to know, what are your thoughts? What will you do differently, sir, if you're given a chance to enter the House of Reps? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, let me say this. If you ask me who have failed us in this government under Bwari, I will tell you that it's not Bwari that failed us. I can tell you it's National Assembly that failed us. Because our founding fathers that put us together or brought democracy to be made it in a way that one arm of government will checkmate the other. In military government, what we don't have is parliament. We have judiciary and we have head of state. In monarchy, the same thing. We have king, we have judiciary. It's only in democracy that you have the House of Parliament, where people's representatives have the say, have the power to control both the president and the country itself. Now, we wouldn't even allow it to come to the level of impeaching the president. If the National Assembly have done a budget on security And what they are budgeted for has been purchased and everything there. And they're not getting the performance of the military in commensurate to what they have budgeted for. It's their duty to act, ask questions, and know why it's so. But they're not. These people are accomplices. They are not doing the oversight functions. They sit down with these people and share money. That is the problem. Then all the blame goes back to Bwari. Why they are there? They're supposed to carry out the oversight functions. They are not doing their job.
So what will you do different?
We need people who are passionate, who are committed to Nigeria, to be in the House of Parliament. That's why you see me wearing this. You know, I stand for Nigeria. I tell you, I don't have anything in my state. This is where I live. This is where I die. Yeah, Abuja. I have been involved in Abuja for more than 26 years. So what I would do different is that I will be committed to Nigerian project. I will make sure that what our law says is what the president implements. If there is any change in it, it will be amended by law. I will make sure that when budget is done, it will be carried out. And the government cannot bring a budget to the House without telling us the implementation process. We cannot just come and pass a budget just for you like that. You have to tell us from this time to this time, this is what we're expecting in this budget. This is what you plan to do. This is how it's going to be, so that we can be able to follow up. And this time, we will make sure that members of the National Assembly is using the money meant for them to run their constituency to do that purpose. For that purpose. Because we're supposed to hire professionals that will work with us. I don't know it all. These professionals will work with us and guide us and make sure that we are aware of what has been implemented, what we're still expecting, the money, the capital inflow for the ministries or government agencies who are supposed to do the job. Because sometimes some of them don't receive the money they should receive. You will know why. Things like that. So it's lack of oversight function. Let me generalize it with that. And that will not happen. That will not happen in this in the next dispensation.
All right. I think you're a good salesperson. One joke is that how do you know a politician is lying? They say just watch when he's moving his lips. That's when you know that the politician is lying. So why I said that is because there has been some kind of effort by some NGOs. Hello, sir. Okay, can you hear me? All right. So there has been some efforts to say that if we are going to give you our trust, all right, and this is a fair deal. I feel it's a fair deal. If I say I'm going to vote you, at the minimum, when you get into the office and you don't do what you said you would do, there are two things. Either we recall or you resign. It's a fair deal. And so we want to see, I think we're going to come up with something very shortly that says you as a candidate, I am committed to so, and at any point where you do not or have breached a trust, you are free to recall me back. What do you feel about that?
Now, let me say this. The laws is already stated in our constitution on how a member of the parliament can be recalled. You don't need any other laws backing it up or anything like that. The truth is this. It goes two ways for a legislator. You can be in the House and have a minority voice. that does not mean that you have not performed. But you have to let the world know your stand on issues. You should not be somebody that is underground. And moreover, this is our constituency. We are the host constituency. I think our voice must be heard. We are the one hosting the Federal Capital Territory. That is AMAC Bwari. So for you to be in the House of Representative or a legislator, you must have what it takes to talk or represent your people or to present your people's case at any time. But having done that, sometimes it might not come your way. Something, but your colleagues might think otherwise. That doesn't mean that you have failed. Am I right?
You're right.
I don't know if I'm right. Yes.
Yes.
But at least the people should know your stand. The people should know your stand on issues, whether your stand is taken or not. That is one thing I'm promising the people. They should be able to know my stand on the issues at any time as it affects AMAC Bwari Federal Constituency.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, you said something that people should know your stand. So I think this is my final question. What are your thoughts in terms of communication? All right. We need to know what is going. We see when we look at proper functioning democracy, there's no doubt as to the kind of efforts government goes out of its way to communicate to its citizens. We are the ones that elected you. So I want to know the channels of your own communication. Where can people get you? If you're given the chance to enter the office, how often will you communicate? How often will you write letters? Will you publish your progress? We want to know things like that.
My brother, look at this. Lawmakers collect money every month. But that money, what they use it to go is burials, wedding, and a child naming. That is what they use the money for. And that is not what that money is meant for. That money is meant for you to get a constituency office and have a functional one. Have lines that people can call and report the problem that they are having. And that problem will be jotted down and that they have. And look, for you to be a good representative, it takes the amount of information you are able to gather from your people. Because when you gather enough information, you should be able to know what the people need most. You cannot share people's head in their absence. I promise you that we will be having town hall meetings at least twice a year, if not more than that. Because I cannot promise that we can be having it every time, because we will have to be doing. But that does not stop all the channels of information gathering and the visitation by my own self within the areas in my communities.
Okay.
So for sure, yes.
All right, sir.
I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, in a way, but I don't know.
Maybe if there is some areas you think I've not touched, you can.
Well, I wanted you to speak to the fact that most people are not going to come out of their homes. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Most people are not going to come out of their homes to attend your town hall meetings. They will need a forum like this. They will need technology. They will need you to come on a platform such as this to explain what is going on. So I would like you to commit to that, if you can, before we round up. Thank you.
I can assure you, I will use all the available information disseminating methods to make sure that I pass the required information to people through this kind of Zoom meeting, through town hall, through print media and electronic media. I can assure you about that. I will be available from time to time to have discussions like this with our people to make the work even easier for me.
Yeah. Do you have a website and email where you can post your manifesto? Because I really want to see the kind of bills that you're having in mind. What bills are you looking at? We can't discuss everything here. We can't discuss everything
here. I can discuss one of them with you here, just one.
We might not have enough time. We have only 4 minutes more. 4 minutes more. We need to round up.
It has to do with Indigenous People Education Trust Fund, but we'll talk about it next time anyway.
Yes. All right. So as we go, your final thoughts. I want you to commit here to what do you want people to remember you. 2 things. You want people to remember you on the job, if you're given that chance.
Well, one, I will make sure that I will make the government of MFCT to be accountable and transparent and effective also, because you can be accountable, transparent, but you're not effective. And if you're not effective,